Hey, everybody, it's your good friend Gant Laborde coming straight from the Mad Science Lab. And I am very happy to be presenting to you today. We'll be taking a look at a really cool project, I believe, and we'll dig into some pretty awesome React Native code. So, with that, let's get started. The name of the talk is Who Said It? So, who's this guy is actually what you're really asking, right? Who the hell is he? And if you don't know who I am, you must be new to React Native U or something like that, but that's okay. I am a React Native developer, core contributor, fan of open source, and I really do love titles after my name, which is ridiculous. I have quite a few of them. If you know any other place where I can get some more cool titles after my name, let me know. Um, but I'm not going to bore you with those here. I'll just kind of say I like to be I like to say I'm a mad scientist, but I am really just a nerd. And that's what this means to me. I am going to nerd out really hard on React Native, and hopefully we all get to enjoy that together. And I just want to say, like, that being a part of this has been a place that I have habitually come to absolutely nerd out. This is a great place to be a part of React Native. It's React Native EU. Actually, fun fact, I don't know if you know this because now, React Native is getting so mature, is I was the first speaker at React Native EU in 2017. And then I think I opened up the first talk for the second day in 2018. So, big fan of this conference, big fan of Call Stack. Everybody who's like comes together and make this experience fantastic. It's a really fun place to learn about new technology, and I always want to bring something cool and interesting. And in 2017, I brought it, and in 2018, I brought it. In 2019, I had a daughter, so Jamin Holmgren came in and he brought it. So here I am speaking in 2020, and you're saying, "All right, Gant, what amazing new thing have you cooked up? What do you have here?" And I hate to pull a React 17 on you, but I don't have anything groundbreaking to show. And that's like sort of like what can you do? Like I've already put machine learning into React Native. We've built some really cool stuff, and I'm sure there's plenty of talks where people will be talking about cool new things that you can do. And I decided to go a little bit of a different angle this time because that sort of hype train can't keep going, right? You have to find some point to stabilize. So I'm going to say specifically, we can make something new, and that's my goal. I'm going to make something with you, and I think that still counts as something new. As a matter of fact, to quote from The Art of War, which gets, I know, overquoted all the time, I will say there are not more than five primary colors, yet in combination, these produce more hues that can ever be seen. And Sun Tzu said that, and I think that by taking all the cool things we've done already in React Native, I can create something that is cool, rewarding, and new, and we can kind of share that here. So I think I said this in 2017. Like, why did you get into mobile? Why did I get into mobile? Why did we want to start making mobile applications? And I would say that mobile applications go to people and they help them connect. It helps you share that feeling. And I think that this is the power that you get from a mobile application. You can't really get from anything else. You need to have this sort of edge device that can connect people in a way that normally would take a lot of work or would take a person or would take some kind of complicated procedure. And instead, we can have meetups and groups and people delivering food straight to your door during a pandemic. It's about sharing, and it's a little bit about sharing, I think, a feeling. So I did some searching, and there's this really cool feeling that we get to share at Infinite Red. And I said, this is a cool thing. I want to share it with the world. And what it is, it's a game that we play. It's called Who Said It? And we play this game, and it's quite simple. You put in quotes completely out of context of people around you, and then everybody has to guess who said whatever it is. So let's just kind of do like a fun little match real quick, right? Um, I think you all you're familiar with the React players, so these will be from famous React people. Just kidding, I will ban you. Now, who said that? Doesn't sound like him, but that's one of Dan Abramov's most famous tweets, which is pretty funny to me. Doesn't sound like him at all, but he says some stuff on Twitter that is totally left field sometime, and I love it. Okay, let's play again. Hanging a TV is basically like centering a div in real life. So this one's like remarkably clean, considering that this is a quote from, Ken Wheeler. So, yeah, you wouldn't have guessed that one, and it's a little bit of fun. Like, it's a great quote. It needs to be immortalized. You can kind of put this together, and it's fun. Let's do a few more. Align items justify content are the CSS equivalent of trying to plug in a USB. This one did really well, and of course, this is our good friend Yanni. So Yanni said this one. It's one of his most popular tweets, and a great quote for him. It's totally Yanni style. You should have gotten this one. If you've ever been to Yanni's talks, you know that's him. And then the last one here, I'll do Electron app in memory, 150 megabytes. Sure. A native app in memory is 0 megabytes because you never shipped it, which is unfortunately very true. And so that quote's from Jamin Holmgren. You get the idea. Like, this is kind of fun. Now, imagine you went away with your team for a weekend and you decided to go ahead and just record some of these things. Like, we had an all team retreat in 2017. And so we just made a Slack channel with a few of us having access to it, where we put in quotes that we heard from other team members. And on the last night, we stood up and we did this like guess who said it game, and it was a blast. So we've been playing this game honestly since 2017 with our company, and we really enjoy it. But there's a gotcha with this. When it's because it's in a Slack room, if I'm one of the people who adds quotes, I get to see all the quotes as they come in. So I kind of don't get to play. I mean, I get to see, the answers when they come in. So whenever anybody asks about this, I already know the answers. So we kind of do this a little bit for ourselves, but a little bit for the team. And it's like, okay, sure, it's fine enough. But there's another problem, and this is the complication of a workflow, right? The developers in your head are starting to like say, okay, I this could be solved. And so here's another problem. We're hanging out. It's the team. If I'm entering quotes, it's just the people that I'm around at the times that I'm around them that I get to go ahead and enter their quotes in. So if there's an entire clique that I'm not around and we don't have anybody entering it, those quotes don't happen. By the way, the sun was in my eyes for this photo in a ridiculous amount. I get it. Y'all can open your eyes in the sun, and for some reason I can't. I'm a programmer. I can't do it. I'm sorry. Okay? Let's just let it go. Just let it go. So what we have here is straight up, I can't enter these quotes from clicks that I'm not a part of. So then that's another problem with the Slack room. And then if we add people to the Slack room, then that's more people who can see the quotes. And so this starts to get problematic. And what we know is that software is, like I said, it connects us. It helps us create these sort of like structures. And I think like you probably felt it as well. This isn't complicated, Gant. You can do this. This is no problem for it. So why don't you just shut up and build it? Just go build exactly that app. So you and get into playing, what are you gonna do? Mess with some GraphQL and some React Native? Like this is gonna be fun. And then you could share it with the world, right? And then everybody can play Who Said It, just like we've been playing for years. And that's comes in with there's this problem of scope that us as mobile developers have. Because you might see this like Gant, you could build it, it's just a glorified to-do list, and every single every single app and every single state management system basically shows you how to do this. But you would be wrong. And so like I think that this is part of the adventure of like professionalism in this kind of aspect is that you can't just in the web world you can kind of just ship anything. But mobile devs have a much more complicated path going forward. And you can look at this and say, okay, well, I mean, there's a lot of problems with sort of like making public lists, right? Public chat rooms and public anything. First of all, everybody is going to be able to see everybody else's lists and information. It'll be over flooded. It's not like I can post some secret URL on the internet and then just call it. And it's not like you want people going and reading your company's messages to one another or their quotes, right? So, how can I, in good faith, say, oh, don't worry. Let's go ahead and do that and just kind of like make this glorified to-do list. And that's the cool thing about it is we are held to a higher standard, so we have to build cooler stuff and we have to still see it through. So I tell you, React Native EU, that this is not a novel game. This is not a novel problem, and this is not a novel process that I had to go through. But out of all those three things combined together, we do get some kind of novel, cool project. And so I got to actually build this entire project. And I built it specifically for my team to share to the rest of the world and to build for this particular conference. So let's take a look at how that problem got solved. Now, if you're watching this on recording, I challenge you, pause for a moment and come up with your own solution on how you would take that note. Like you have a way to play who said this quote out of context with your team. And then how would you build it? And I would love to know in the React Native EU YouTube comments or on Twitter or anywhere, what's the difference between what I did and what you would have done? Do you like what I did? Do you think I could have done it better? I want to know these things. These are the discussions. This is what conferences are meant to do. And I know we're virtual, but that means you have to put out the extra effort. You can't be a lurker. Come out and let me know. Okay, so let's take a look at what I came up with, right? So this is the Who Said It app. Yeah. I went with a comic book theme, and I want to say super, super awesome. Kudos. I'll go into how the designs kind of all work together, but this is UI Kitten down to the metal. I am not a designer. I said, UI Kitten, can you make my stuff look okay? And it said, yes, I will absolutely do that. So I can say here, I want to check quotes. So I could say check quotes, and then I get all the quotes from my team. I could check this cool stuff out, and then I could say I want to search some quotes here. So I'm looking here. I could say, oh, I want to check out a quote, and I want to see some stuff from Ryan or whoever. Okay, let's see Kevin quotes. And so I can see who entered that quote in, what it contains. I could even check by the date. And so I can kind of search here. And so Kevin's got a couple of quotes that are really fun. Nice, everything is wrong. And when life gives you pie, you make pie lemonade. And so he said this. And so if I kind of click into here, I can see the quote and get the answer, by the way, while they're all randomized. And I can see who added it when they added it. So that's pretty cool. And we can see that this is a filtered version of this. If I clear this out, I get the full list again. And then I can, of course, hit the randomize button up here at the top left and get everything all cool and random. So I've got that set up so I can actually read quotes. and stand up in front of the team, either an all team or virtually, and then have some quotes to read. We can play the game before like an all team meeting or all hands, and then I can easily add quotes as well. So if I go in here, I say I want to add a particular quote, then I can just type in what they say, optionally like the context of it, and then tag them. And this is the autocomplete. Thank you so much, UI Kitten. So if I say Todd did this, oh, look, there it is. Got Todd right there. Um, it's got some features in here where I can add people who aren't even in the system yet. And then it adds a brand new author as we go along. So that's pretty cool. So check quotes, add quotes. Gant, how did you solve the problem of stopping people from seeing each other's quotes, right? Well, that's easy enough. You can create a group. So over here, the group is just like a random code. So we could create a group called, Twitter quotes or something like that. And then we could all hop in there. And that'll be the quotes that people can add that are Twitter quotes. And then I'll be an admin because I've created this group. And that's fun enough. And then you say to yourself, by the way, I'm not named Jed. I don't know why I'm just set as Jed. So your company can create their own group. And this is basically like a password, stopping people from, you'd have to guess the group names just to kind of go over there. So you could say like Fun Family Getaway 2020, and that's your group code. As long as everybody who joins types in that group code, all of your quotes will be together just particularly there. And then there's this last aspect of security that we needed to worry about, right? Um, why I don't want people, I don't want you being able to come in and add quotes to Infinite Red, right? This is just our group. This is people who work at Infinite Red. So my email address is Gant at infinite.red. So I simply lock this in so that I get this magic button right here. And when I click that, I am added to the Infinite Red group. I'm not Jed, by the way, I'm Gant. And you can't type in infinite.red. There's just no way for you to kind of get through here. And then I can say, okay, I'm good. I'm joining the group infinite.red. And anybody who has that email address can have it. So callstack.io, you can create a group for you, for everybody there, and you will have a special button. It's callstack.io, and no one else will be able to join that. You will simply be blocked off, and you can do that. Then I can go away with the family for the weekend, type in, nachos 2020, and we can kind of have a weekend of quotes here and have fun. So I'll just join nachos 2020 real quick and add a bunch of quotes to that. I'm the admin now, and I'm set. So this allows you to play Who Said It, and it allows you to go ahead and add all these fun quotes, and everybody can add it. Doesn't matter who you are at the company. You can just log in and add it, and it sticks your name next to as the creditor of the person who heard it. It's a lot of fun. And this kind of design is made possible because this was easy to make. And I can tell you, this would not have been easy to make just in 2017, 2018. So many amazing tools have come out that allow us to kind of do this. So I want to definitely get into the code and kind of mention a little bit of exactly how this works. But the concept of just kind of throwing this together for my team and your team and everybody, just it should be in the App Store by the time this airs. So feel free to download it. That's the cool thing that kind of comes from all this. So, all right, built an app, just kind of get all set up there, build all these fun screens and add stuff out there. It was really cool. So how does something like this actually come together? Like, how do you build this just for a conference talk? And it's really easy. I'd say, like I already mentioned to them, kudos to UI Kitten. Now, I wanted to try Paper. It was made by CallStack. It's amazing, and React Native Paper is such a cool tool. But I wanted to try something a little bit different on this one, and I wanted it to flavor my design a little bit, and I wanted it to kind of take care of a few things. So I tried UI Kitten this time. I would say anything, as long as you're trying to cut the corner of design, throw either of those out there. But this time I went with UI Kitten for this, and it was a fantastic experience. And then how do I manage these complex user permissions? I mean, Think about this. You can't see a group that you haven't joined. You can't join certain domains. You can't do all this other stuff. I'm accessing GraphQL. You might say that Gant, you spent more time on the back end for this than you ever spent doing the actual app. And the answer is like, no, actually, it's pretty easy. I used Amplify. Um, Sorry about the design there. Flew off to the right side. That says AWS Amplify. I've changed the proportionalities for this talk. But Amplify gave me the ability to put login with zero effort, to put um, GraphQL with zero effort, to enable like protections with Cognito with zero effort. And it did this other thing. So, like, when I came to the part where I wanted no one to be able to join my domain and no one to be able to join that domain, I was able to do dynamic permissions under Amplify. And I was able to quickly build a Lambda function on there, and set it up so that way, like, my app actually is moving people from one group to another. And I don't have to run any kind of server. Now, all this stuff is done with AWS. So that's a really awesome feature that I'll say. It's like one of the key aspects that kind of attracted me to this is that I could do the entire project with Amplify quite easily. So, um, let's take a look at some code, right? Everybody wants to look at a little bit of React code, see what UI Kitten and Amplify actually look like when we're implementing it. I'm going to give you a big warning here. Um, this is code for a conference and a release of an app. Expect dirty code. I apologize, but hey, it worked fantastic. And now I can go back and clean it up. But as the time for sending this video in is running nigh, I need to hit that deadline. So apologies if the code does not look like our normal quality. So let's pull up this code here and let's take a look. So, all right, I know it's always a bit of a shock jumping from this straight into the code. So we're taking a look at the index.js, the basic entry point of the entire thing. And you can see that I have the amplify set up, and I just say amplify configure. And this accesses my AWS exports that get spit out. And that kind of gets me the background access to all my AWS services that I sign up for. So I have some crash handlers here, just to make sure that I actually give them a message if somehow you crash my app. This is in my blog post, React Native Final Steps. Don't ship an app without telling someone nicely what the hell's going on. And so go ahead and right here, just go ahead and amplify up the project and then hop straight into the app, which is great. And then here inside the app, it's starting to look very much like the default UI Kitten setup. So UI Kitten has some really cool stuff, and it has a theming engine built through it. And the cool thing is, you might see here, I've got this custom theme.json. Now, if you go through the EVA design process, you can go to the website, pick your primary colors, and have it actually space this stuff out. And it spits out this JSON file, which you can then bring into your app and set up for your entire theme. So what's really cool is, if you've never used UI Kitten before, you can say I'm going to have a light theme or a dark theme. As you can see, I have a dark theme. You can use a sketch file to like lay out all your designs and get them done. And then you could spit out JSON, which will help make sure all your colors are set up appropriately and your primaries and everything. And then you just feed that directly into the top level of the provider there. This is a provider, but this is the application provider. And then I just set up the theme. So I have the EVA Dark plus a couple of modifications sort of spread into that operation and merged. That's it. That gives me this really cool sort of look and feel straight out of UI Kitten, which I really enjoyed. And if tomorrow I think that my danger button is the wrong color, I can just go back to the website, modify the stuff, and export a new JSON file. That's pretty cool. So, this custom theme stuff of the UI kitten was very fun. It cut a lot of time out of making this a project. Um, Thank you so much for having this kind of cool stuff, and it allows me to build really cool stuff really fast. And so we take a look here, and I've got just things set up, and we hop straight into our navigation, and I've got all my screens laid out. One of the things you'll notice here, I think you'll see, is that I have the main one is the home screen. And then to make it so that you have to log in, this was Amplify magic. I didn't have to do a lot of stuff here. So for the home screen, I just built the home screen as I wanted to. Yes, I know. It's a lot of inline styles. Shh. I told you I was building this quickly, right? But then I just wrap the whole home screen with Authenticator. And with Authenticator, as we take a look here, it comes right out of AWS Amplify React Native. And then now you have to log in order to move on. You have or for access on this screen. So the cool thing that I get here is that now with Authenticator, I can configure it up a little bit, and I can fully customize it. But think about what your normal login process includes. You have to have reset password, email verification to make sure that they actually have that email, sending codes, sending text messages, forgot password, and all these other kinds of things. I didn't have to write any of that. That's 100% already done. And all I had to do was say like, "Yep, for the username, it's your email, and then I don't want your phone number. Do not send me your phone number. Hide that out." And then I was able to just pass along my own sort of theming on that, some custom styles to make it the colors of my app. That was it. And then now I have login for this process. So that was a really big boost into speed. If you haven't seen any of the talks on Amplify, adding authentication quickly, if you need to go ahead and do a proof of concept, if you're looking to go ahead and ship something straight out with you need authentication, what a great feature. Um, so now I've already got the app with login, and I've already got the app with awesome, cool styles. Very easy. So my to-do list app is just it's getting a little bit more complicated, but it's not that much difficulty. And then when you go to screens like adding something, now I'm able to just go ahead and use Amplify again. And so I use the Amplify API. And so the Amplify API, let's see here. I am, it's lots of animations and fun stuff here. Let's go to something simple. Create the quote, right? I'm sending you this quote. Well, I say API GraphQL, and then the query I'm trying to tell it that I want to send is the create quote. Now, did I write create quote? No, that got generated for me. So I get to just send it the quote, the information, the org name, send it over. But this GraphQL, if you take a look, we automatically generate mutations, queries, and subscriptions based off of our GraphQL schema, which actually is a little bit up there. I'll show you. But this create quote comes out of the box. If you want to see create quote, oh that should. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm totally naming it wrong. Uh, Create quote. Where's that coming from? Mutations. Of course, it's creation. See, it's idiot proof. Create quote. Yeah. So of course, yeah, this is exactly where that would be. And I didn't write a line of this whole file. Actually, I didn't write any of that. That all comes out of Amplify. If you want to know more about Amplify, if you think that maybe Gant, you should build a course on something like that, let me know. And then this all kind of ties back specifically. If we take a look, we have Amplify. We could take a look here. We could see the back end. And so I'm kind of running out of time, but you could see that I have my API calls, my auth, the function that I told you that I wrote. All this stuff's available. It kind of comes through there, and it's inside your code base to set you up as well. So, in a very short amount of time, using some fantastic services and using some really good know-how of how to wield React Native, this project came together and was kind of set. So if you want to see more code, let me know. I can go into plenty more detail with you on Twitter or other places. If there's any aspect of the app you download, have any problem, or you want to know how I did it, I will tell you. I will tell you all of this stuff. So that's how I built an app just for this conference and just for everybody to have a lot of fun. Like I said, a little while ago, there were some final steps that I kind of went through. I think it was really cool. Definitely check out that blog post. It was based on the final steps I went through before I released this to the App Store and the Google Play Store. So look for React Native final steps. And I really do hope that you enjoy the app. Subtitle there because, I have no other thing else to say. It's just enjoy the app, right? But thank you so much to everybody who helps make these things possible. Number one, Infinite Red for giving me the ideas, the time, the energy to build these cool things. React Native U for giving me the place to show it and share it with you all. I hope that we all there's no charge in this setup. And if this is in the App Store by the time this talk happens, just enjoy it. Super cool stuff, all built with React Native, and this is about connecting people. And then kudos to the other people who help us connect. Specifically, UI Kitten, which I used for this design and made it me as an developer be able to make something that doesn't look absolutely atrocious. And then, of course, thanks so much to Amplify. I think Amplify is really cool. That was a ton of back end work that I skipped just to go ahead and build something really fun. Um, Last but not least, yeah, you for listening to my talk, for being interested in this, and especially preemptively, I'm going to say for asking questions. So thank you so much, React Native you. I miss you all. I wish I were there. I wish that we all were there. I wish I was going to an after party with you all in person so we could talk about stuff and I could overhear your quotes and then put them in my app. But until next year, this is Gant Laborde. See you later.